the cult of personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been anything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the D-Man Show on WFTU Radio. This is your host, D-Man. I would like to first give a shout-out to my dad because Father's Day is coming up this Sunday. Happy early Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Here's your Long Island news. Sunday evening on Long Island, police say 4 people have been rescued after their sailboat capsized in the Great South Bay. The Suffolk County Police Department says Teresa Pinola of Islip and her 3 cousins from Arizona were sailing in the bay when a part failed and the boat capsized, throwing them overboard. Witnesses called 911 and Marine Bureau officers responded, pulling 3 of the 4 people to safety after pulling up the capsized vessel. People on a passing vessel picked up the 4th person. 2 of the rescued boaters were transported to a nearby hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. A small plane had to make an emergency landing on a Long Island golf course after an engine problem, authorities say. The Federal Aviation Administration reports the Cessna C-172 bound for Islip went down on the course at the Bellport Country Club in Bellport around 6:15 a.m. on Monday. After the pilot reported an engine failure, it had departed from Brookhaven Airport. Emergency transmissions indicated it landed near the 12th hole. The pilot was the only person aboard and was not injured. No one on the ground was hurt either. A search is underway for a 24-year-old man who vanished after he took his kayak out to go fishing off the coast of Long Island on Sunday. Police say Selvin Vasquez launched his boat near Crab Meadow Beach around 3:04 p.m. When the 24-year-old from Huntington Station didn't return home, a friend called 911 around 6 p.m., authorities said. The man's kayak was recovered, but he has yet to be located. Here's your entertainment news. Rapper Chief Keef was busted at an airport in South Dakota after forgetting he had drugs on him. Chief was arrested before getting on a plane early Monday morning after authorities discovered the rapper had weed and paraphernalia on him. Law enforcement said he had 4 blunts and an edible in his backpack. The edible's wrapper clearly said it contained 200 milligrams of THC, which was a dead giveaway. In total, Chief was allegedly in possession of more than an ounce of bud. He was cuffed and booked for possession of marijuana and paraphernalia. Last week, million-dollar listing Los Angeles star Madison Hildebrand had an interesting showing at his house. A guy broke into his home, walking around naked and using his shower. Madison's surveillance system caught him on camera naked. When the guy got into his home, Madison got an alert on his phone from his surveillance system, and then he called the police. When the cops got to his house, they found the guy hiding in his attic. The LA County DA has charged the man with burglary. Richard Hammond, the ex-host of Top Gear, was injured when his race car crashed, flipped over, and burst into flames. The 47-year-old was competing Saturday in a race in Switzerland for the Amazon Prime show. After the crash, Hammond climbed out of the car before it burst into flames, and all he suffered was a fractured knee. Oh, man. with that rapper Chief Keef. What an idiot. How did he not know he had weed and paraphernalia on him when he got into the airport? What was he, high and he forgot? Man, that's the last thing you need to have on you when you go into an airport. You have that stuff on you, you're eventually going to get busted and arrested. So he, I would say he definitely deserved that. And guess he learned his lesson, and hopefully he doesn't do that again when he goes to an airport. And also with what happened with Madison Hildebrand's home, it's just ridiculous why that guy broke into his house and just using stuff in his house. I'm glad that the authorities found the guy and arrested him. He definitely deserved it. So at least that's nice. He had a surveillance system in his house, and that alerted him. That I meant to say that alerted Hildebrand that this guy is just in this house. So at least they caught the guy. And also with that ex-host of Top Gear, Richard Hammond, I'm glad he's okay. And I have watched the show. It's a pretty, it's a good, interesting show. I'm glad he survived the crash. Nothing bad happened. Like I meant to say, nothing bad happened, and he died, and I meant to say, and he didn't die. Yeah, it's just over the years there've been a lot of celebrities that have died in car crashes, like back in the 50s, 60s, actor James Dean. About 5-6 years ago, Jackass star Ryan Dunn passed away, and just about a few years ago, Paul Walker from the Fast and the Furious series. Yeah, it's just with celebrities, when they handle these fast cars, they got to be very careful how they handle these cars, and then they'll survive and be okay. And hopefully with celebrities, when they handle cars like that, nothing else happens. That could be tragic and very serious. That they can get injured really bad. Coming up in a bit is your sports news. We'll be right back.
I got ice in my veins, blood in my eyes, hate in my heart, love in my mind. I seen nights full of pain, days are the same. You keep the sunshine, save me the rain. I search but never find, hurt but never cry. I work and forever try, but I'm cursed, so never mind. And it's worse, but better times seem further and beyond. The top gets higher, the more that I climb. The spot gets smaller, and I get bigger, trying to get in where I fit in. No room for it, but soon for it. It be on, motherfucker. Cause all this bullshit made me strong, motherfucker. So I pick the world up and I'ma drop it on your head. Yeah, I'ma pick the world up and I'ma drop it on your head. Yeah, and I could die now, rebirth, motherfucker. Hop up in my spaceship and leave Earth, motherfucker. I'm down, motherfucker, I'm down. I know what they don't want to tell you. Just hope you're heaven sent and you're hell proof. I woke up in the world and cut the lights off, and confidence is a stain they can't wipe off. My word is my pride, but wisdom is bleak, and that's a word from the wise. Serve to survive, murdered and bribed. And when it got too heavy, I put my burdens aside so I could pick the world up and I'ma drop it on your head. Yeah, I'ma pick the world up and I'ma drop it on your head. Yeah. And I could die now, rebirth, motherfucker. Hop up in my spaceship and leave Earth, motherfucker. I'm gone. I'm gone. It hurts, but I never show. Cause pain you'll never know. If only you could see just how lonely and how cold and frostbite I'll become. My back's against the wall when push comes to shove. I just stand up and scream, come on. Man, it feels like these walls are closing in. This roof is caving in. But it's time to raise it then. You're tasting numbers like pages in my poker rhymes. Got 'em cooking, boy. This crooked mind of mine got 'em all shook and scared to look in my eyes. I stole that clock. I took the time and I came up from behind and pretty much snuck up and fucked this game up. Better be careful when you bring my name up. This fame, that ain't what I came to claim. But the game ain't gonna be the same on the days that I leave it. But I swear one way or another, I'ma make these haters believe it. I swear to God, won't spare the ride. I'm a man of my word, so your head's better not. I'm around in this and roast everybody. Sleep on me, that pillow is where your head alive. Permanently gets petty by. This world is my Easter egg, get prepared to die. My head is full, my confidence is up. The stage is my pedestal. I'm unstoppable, incredible. Hulk, you're trapped in my medicine ball. I can run circles around you so fast your head spin, dog. I split your cabbage and your lettuce and olives. I'll pick the world up and I'ma drop it on your head. Yeah. I'ma pick the world up and I'ma drop it on your head. Yeah, and I could die now, rebirth, motherfucker. I hop up in my spaceship and leave Earth, motherfucker. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone.
Welcome back to the D-Man Show on WFTU Radio. Here's your sports news. I have my very first guest, sports writer and my producer, Matt.
This is the celebration.
Wow, I like this. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man.
Celebrate.
All right, so Matt, I know you are a Jets fan,
Yes.
and I am too. So I'm sure you know they released Nick Mangold, Eric Decker, Brandon Marshall, and David Harris. And so far, their number one receiver is Quincy Enunwa. So what do you think about these moves that they're doing?
I think, just to play devil's advocate for as to why they're doing it, I think they're trying to get younger and go through a more rebuilding phase. I wasn't really a fan of their two most recent moves with Eric Decker and David Harris, because if you are gonna move on from them, do it back in March when you cut everyone else. I don't think it was fair to them to hold on to him to this long and make that decision. It kind of came out of the blue.
No, yeah, I feel you what you're saying. Yeah, it's just they just want to start off with fresh blood, and yeah, they're just in the rebuilding process right now. And also, I think they're trying to acquire cap space to pick up other players. Like, I don't know how they are going to do with Quincy Enunwa, but he's not a bad wide receiver. He helped me in fantasy last season, and I think they need to pick up a really good wide receiver, like someone that's close as good as Antonio Brown. Like, what do you think of something like that?
Yeah, certainly if you could add someone with that kind of talent, that would be good. Where they're going to find that at this point, I'm not sure. But the thing I like about Enunwa is he's young. He's only 24, and Robbie Anderson's 23 years old too. So those two can be like the receiving core of the future, if that makes sense. So we'll see. Whether it's Josh McCown or Christian Hackenberg throwing them the ball, we don't know yet. But hopefully, they take strides to becoming good.
Or Bryce Petty.
Or Bryce Petty. This is true also. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the starting quarterback is going to be McCown. Do you think so?
Yeah, I think McCown's going to start the year as a quarterback, and then maybe halfway through the year they'll see what Christian Hackenberg has.
Yeah, they'll probably if things don't work out with McCown, they're going to start Petty or Hackenberg.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of Petty last year. He didn't look all that great. I don't know. Maybe they'll go back to him again at some point this year. But I certainly think they'll want to see what Hackenberg has at some point.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what happens with that. And also, yeah, I would say the starting wide receivers. Yeah, we definitely Anderson, Noah, and also I think they picked up one or two wide receivers in the draft. So it's going to probably be one of them too.
Yep, they did. So they do have some young depth at the wide receiver position. We're just going to have to see, how they are. They're young. There's potential there, but we'll have to see this year.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with that. And also, they recently picked up this defensive lineman from Cleveland. What do you think of? I forgot his name. You know his name?
Off the top of my head, no, I don't remember.
But you know who it is. What do you think about that move? Heard he wasn't that good.
You're talking about the linebacker, Demario Davis. That must be who you're talking about.
Whoops, I thought it was a lineman.
No, that's why I was confused at first. He used to be on the Jets from 2012 to 2014.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wasn't really that good. So I'm not really expecting him to do too much.
Yeah. He's probably not going to be better than David Harris, you would think?
No, David Harris is going to be really tough to replace.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. How do you feel about them defense-wise as of now?
Defensively, they definitely have talent at the defensive line position. That's probably their strongest part. I don't think their linebacking core is very good. I don't think their secondary is going to be very good. So.
Nah, I feel you on that. And hopefully this upcoming season they don't go 0-16. Because it's a 50-50 chance that their season could be a dumpster fire, and
I think it's about 100% chance it's gonna be a dumpster fire, but they'll probably stumble into 2 or 3 wins. That's my prediction. I'll go 3-13.
Yeah, I think last season they went 3-13, right?
They went 5-11 last year.
Oh, my bad, slipped my mind, but I was kind of close.
Yeah, we're pretty close. It's still pretty bad, but.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with the upcoming season. You never know. There could be a chance they could do really good. It has happened with other teams before.
Hey, man, you never know in sports. Crazy things happen. So,
yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. And Matt, thanks for coming on the show today. Matt also hosts a show on WFTU Radio called Big Apple Banter. You could hear it live every Friday at 1 p.m.
All right. Thanks for having me on, Dan.
No problem, man. Here is some more sports news. An attorney says a completed police investigation in Florida shows former NFL star Michael Irvin is innocent of sexual battery claims made by a female acquaintance. Irvin's lawyer, Kenneth Panowitz, said at a news conference on Tuesday that prosecutors should drop the case after reviewing the police investigation. Irvin told reporters the evidence backs up his contention that nothing improper happened. Police have been investigating the alleged incident involving Irvin and an unidentified woman at a Fort Lauderdale hotel since March 22nd. Padowitz says the case is now in the hands of the Broward State Attorney's Office, which says the matter remains under review. 51-year-old Michael Irvin was a star receiver for the University of Miami and the Dallas Cowboys. He was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2007. Recently on Monday, former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Jeremy Maclin signed a 2-year deal to the Baltimore Ravens. What I feel with the situation going on with Michael Irvin, it's just very disappointing to hear, and it's a possibility he didn't commit that with the women, but it could be a possibility he did, because he does kind of have a police record. So I guess we'll see what happens with that situation, if he's innocent or guilty. And with that move the Baltimore Ravens made with acquiring Jeremy Maclin, I would say it was a good pickup. Jeremy Maclin, I know he's kind of older now, and I would say he has a lot left in the tank. And with the Baltimore Ravens QB, Joe Flacco, I would say they could be a good QB and wide receiver dynamic. And I would say that will be the best QB that Jeremy Maclin had yet. And we'll see what happens. If the Baltimore Ravens will do good this season. So, yeah, I guess we'll see how their season goes. Here is D-Man at the Movies. Recently, I went to see The Mummy. Oh my God. I would say, no, I meant to say, it was the worst movie I've seen in a while. I like seeing this movie, I'm just thinking, oh, please, when is it going to end? It just was, I just wasn't that into it, and it was just kind of off. And with the main good character of the movie, Tom Cruise, I just feel like he didn't fit the script of the movie. I would say in movies like Top Gun and Jack Reacher, I actually, about a few days ago, I saw Jack Reacher. Very good movie. And with a script like that, with a movie like with a script like that in Jack Reacher, he did very good in that movie. And also, the action in The Mummy was kind of bad. So with movies like Jack Reacher and Top Gun, I can see Tom Cruise in that. I can't see him in a movie like The Mummy. Years ago, with the series with Brendan Fraser, was much better. And the action was much better. And you really get into it. The Mummy, the new movie of The Mummy, I wasn't that into it. I think what threw off the newer one is they had the main evil character, the woman mummy character. I think that partly because of that threw off the movie. So, but years ago, with the series with Brendan Fraser, they had the main evil character with the mummy. With the main evil character, they had a man that played the mummy. So I guess if they were to come out with another mummy movie, I would say they should do it with a male mummy as the evil character. And yeah, they definitely have to find a new actor to play the main good guy. Tom Cruise is not the right person that fits best with a movie like that. So I guess we'll see what happens in Hollywood if they ever come back with another mummy movie. Here is D-Man's Back in Time. On this day, June 14th, 1989, Nolan Ryan becomes the second pitcher to defeat all 26 teams. June 14th, 1992, the 46th NBA championship was between the Chicago Bulls and the Portland Trail Blazers. The Bulls beat the Trailblazers 4-2. June 14th, 1994, the Stanley Cup was between the New York Rangers and the Vancouver Canucks. The Rangers beat the Canucks 4-3. June 14th, 2007, the 61st NBA championship was between the San Antonio Spurs and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Spurs beat the Cavaliers 4-0. And June 14th, 2009, the 63rd NBA championship was between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Orlando Magic. The Lakers beat the Magic 4-1. I hope you enjoyed today's show. The D-Man Show will be back live next Wednesday at 12 p.m. See you next week.
If you smell
What the D-Man Show
is cooking.